What's up, guys? It's your boy Bilo back again, and this is just a real short video going to talk about how to get a more dynamic and present sound out of your Line 6 Helix stuff. So this works for the native and the LT and larger Helix. I have an LT myself, and this is something I learned on my own really early on when I got my Helix LT. I just applied a trick from owning amps. I own Vox, I own Fenders, I have amps with tremolo circuits in them. And in the very final stage, from input, pre-gain, effects loop to the power tube and then the output, right? There's the tremolo at the very final end, right? And so what happens when you have a Vox, especially a Vox with two speakers like I do, I have an AC30C2, or the Fender here, one of the blackface amp styles, deluxe reverb reissues. In the vibrato circuit, especially on the Vox, it's very present. If you just have your vibrato circuit set to like a chorus, like the way I set my chorus when I use a chorus is like at level 1 and level 1 for depth and rate. That expands the tone, and when you're sitting there in a field, like if you're on stage and you got a band around you and you're running through the house PA and all that stuff, you're going to get buried, especially if you're running just the Helix with nothing to warm it up, right? Like no preamps or something like that, no real nice preamps. And so you need to have something to give you that, to agitate the signal. And so what happens here, and we're not talking tone wood or any of that stuff, we're talking just an old trick from old amps. You just turn on the tremolo. The OptiTrem on the Line 6 Helix does that, it replicates that. And so here's my theory, okay? This is just someone who has real amps, who just got into the modeling game, right? The modeling world does a great job of modeling a linear path, which is great. But that is a static, sterile path to tube amp people, right? So you get someone who's really tuned their ear to tube amps, those cork sniffer types. Like I got a bunch of tube amps myself. They hear modeling, if it's not like the Kemper, like a really decked out Kemper with all the presets and all the IRs, and they're like, yeah, they can't tell the difference because there's a lot of modulated modeling going there, right? Changes, reactive, right? A reactive modeling. But then you come across other ones, right? And so the Helix stuff, in my opinion, like their ingrained presets are all very static, and I have no use for them. And so with that being said, I use IRs, right? And I'm using Rosen Digital Audio IRs right here. I've got my 5150 IR loaded in my little IR block. Nothing really magical going on here with my settings, just, noise gate, studio comp, and then like a matchstick 2 amp. So here's what we got. So we're going to run through, we got two Focusrites we're running through real quick right here. 18i8, the stalwart, and then of course a solo for the computer. And 18i8, I'm summing up my audio from the computer, and then this little microphone right here, right? Just a delay, nothing really fancy going on here, a little reverb. There's no post-processing going on. You can see I'm running through Reaper. There's nothing fancy going on here. There's no, effects. It's just Reaper, right? One track Reaper and native. This is my video editing software. Anyway, so yeah, we got OBS for my recording. So that's all that's going on here, right? All right, so pay attention, okay? Just try to follow with me. Speed intensity at 1 and 1, level at 0. So there's no level gain being kicked here. Did you hear that? I'm watching it on my graphs. Maybe I'm not really too good at doing this whole. I'm really not too good at using the whole DAW thing. I'm an old school guy. I'm a tube amp guy, for crying out loud. But I think I can add, like, maybe I can add like a graph. Let's see, can I do that? Yeah, like the real EQ, right? Yeah, let's do the real EQ. So here's a graph. Okay, so this is flat, there's no preset. All right, man, this is for all you fucking board warriors out there on the goddamn Line 6 Helix forums. You guys are fucking trolls. It excites the signal because it like adds randomness to it. Rocket science, guys. I mean, this is the real deal. I wish I could hotkey turning on that OptiTrem right there. This isn't trolling. This isn't me being a jerk. This is just, I mean, I have real tube amps, and this is what happens with real tube amps. Enhances the lower frequencies right off the bat. You can totally tell. So that's just my theory, okay? If you're playing in a live situation and you're buried in the mix, throw on the optical trim on your last block. Just do it. It costs nothing to do this. This is a free tip, guys. I'm not asking you for money. I'm not asking you to go to my Patreon. I'm not asking you to subscribe to my channel. I'm just telling you, if you got the Helix and it sounds whack, the first thing you want to do is get an IR. Go to Rosen Digital Audio and get the EVH5150 IR, okay? And if that doesn't work for you, then throw on the very last, which I think should be the first thing you do, honestly. You know, but I honestly think you should have IRs because the onboard cabs for Helix suck. Yeah, it definitely excites it so much more. I don't know what to tell you. And we're just using this EQ in the graph, right? So there's no preset. I don't think I'm... If you can't hear that, then chances are you're a dumbass. I mean, maybe your parents vaccinated you too much when you were a kid. And so you think like one by one by one, and you're not allowed to like think outside of the blocks. Remember Star Wars, okay? Do you remember the clone troopers and the way that Dark Jedi created the clone troopers with the little chip in their head, the inhibitor chip, so they could never think creatively, right? That's you. If you can't hear that, if you can't hear that, then you have an inhibitor chip in your brain. And I suggest you detox and maybe get off the vaccinations and stop watching television, stop watching CNN and Fox and all that stuff. Stop drinking tap water, all that stuff, man, because your brain is damaged. If you cannot hear that, then you seriously have a problem. And so for all of you little board troll warriors on the Line 6 Helix forum, you guys are really bad. I mean, I don't know what to tell you, man. I feel sorry for your parents because you're not able to hear this, and they damaged you. And so they probably feel really guilty that their child has downs because their child can't hear. Sounds clear as day to me. If you can't hear that, then you got problems. Anyways, that's been this video. I'm out. I'll catch you later, and rock on. I'll catch you on the Helix forums. Skyfires #1. Rock on, guys. I'll see y'all next time.